Welcome student in our today's online section of subject mechatronics. Here we already started our chapter number 6 and which is programmable logic controller. So today we are going to see next topic, which is architecture of PLC. We took its introduction in the last section, but here we are going to revise it. Okay. So here you can see on your screen that it is the PLCs have a processor, it is having an input module and it is having a output module, and inside this processor we are having a programming software. Okay. So there are two ways within which input output is incorporated into the PLC: fixed and modular. Fixed is the usual small PLCs that are available in one package with no separate removable units. The processor and input output package along and the input output terminals are available but cannot be changed. The most advantage of this type of packaging is lower price. Modular input output is a split by compartment into that separate module can be plugged. An analog input card converts a voltage or current into a signal that can be anywhere from 0 to 20 milliampere into a digital equivalent number that can be understood by the central processing unit. Where a digital output card either turns a device on or off, such as light, LEDs, small motors and relays. The feature greatly increases your choice and also the unit flexibility. You can select from the module available from the manufacturer and blend them in any means you want. So here we already see this input module, output module, CPU, memory, power supply, programmable device and communicating channels. So this input so this input module. So what is this input module? So here it is figure shows the input module which the limit switches. The input module examines the state of the physical switches and other input devices and put their state into a form of suitable for the processor. It is able to accommodate a number of inputs called channels. If the switch is closed, the input will be 24 watt DC, 24 volt DC, and if it is open, then it is 0 volt direct current. DC here direct current. The input module converts this into 1 or 0 that needed by the processor. So here if it is the digital input module, then it converts this voltage into a 0 and 1, which is digital, means the digital form. The input module, it converts real world voltage into current to signal the PLC can understand. Since there are different type of input devices, there is a wide variety of input module available, including both digital and analog module. In case of analog module, there is a continuous signal is present. Here if this in this image you can see here, if this kind of input is provided there, having the arrow and the scale, needle and scale, then this input become analog module because there is a continuous signal. As we already discussed, that discrete or digital module uses 0 or 1 to depict the state. Analog module uses numbers to depict state. Example 30 degree can be provided by the analog module. Then this is the output module. Figure shows the typical wiring of PLC for output module. Here you can see it is having a motor which runs or stops or remains idles. Now this is the output of this PLC. The output module supplies AC power to the external devices such as motor, light, solenoid. Internally, the output module accepts a 0 or 1 from the processor and uses it to turn on and off a device, whether it is a motor, solenoid or light. An output module can have one or several channels per unit. Each channel is usually provided with an indicator light to show whether the particular channel is being driven on and off. This is the output module, and this output module, either it is a motor or it is a fan or it is a light or it is sometimes solenoid also. Then here it is the processor, which we are going to see here. The processor is a computer that executes a program to perform the operation specified in a ladder diagram. So what is ladder diagram? Ladder diagram, it is a diagram where the various symbols are used to make this diagram, and this ladder diagram having a specific application, specific aim. We will study this ladder diagram as we proceed in the chapter further. It performs arithmetical and logic operation as input variable data and determines the proper state of output variable. Here the processor accepts input data from various sensing devices, executes the stored use program and send appropriate output commands to control devices. Then this is the CPU and memory. So CPU, it is the brain of programmable logic controller, is the central processing unit. It executes the various logic and sequencing function by operating on the PLC inputs to determine the appropriate output signals for the actuator. The processor is microprocessor, very similar in the constructions to those used in personal computers and other data processing equipments. Memory. Tied to the CPU is the PLC memory, which contains the program of logic, sequencing and other input-output operations. The memory of a programmable logic controller is specified in the same way as for a computer and may range from 1K to over 48,000 of storage capacity. Memory types are ROM, RAM and EPROM. Here ROM for read-only memory, RAM for random access memory, and it is the erase, print, random, read-only memory. Then it is the important function of important part of this PLC, which is power supply. So power supply, it is also uses along with the rack. So power supply, it is a power supply of 115 volts is used to provide power to the PLC and any other modules. Power supply comes in various forms. The power supply module that fit into one of the slot is in a chassis. External power supply that mount to the outside of chassis. Chassis means rack here. Stand-alone power supply that connects to the PLC or input or output module through a power cable. Embedded power supplies that comes as a part of the PLC block. Okay, the power offer plugs into the rack in addition and providing a regulated direct current power to different modules that plugs into the rack. The foremost common power provides with 24 VDC source. The rack is the element that holds everything along depending on the requirement of the control system. It may be ordered in several sizes to carry additional module. Okay. Okay, so this is the programmable device. A programmable device, the PLC is programmed by means of a programmable device. The programmable device is usually detached from the PLC cabinet so that it can be shared between the different controllers. The different PLC manufacturer provides different devices. Simple take pendant type devices similar to those used in robotics. PLC programming keyboards and CRT. This is cathode ray tube display. This is also part of the programmable device which we are used in the PLC. Then this is the communicating channels. The CPU uses this communicating channel because the data bus for sending data between the constituent elements. The address bus to send the address of location for accessing stored data. The control bus for signal relating to internal control actions. The system bus is used for communications between the input and output ports and the input-output units. Here the main parts these are the main parts of PLC, which is CPU, memory, power supply and input-output modules are connected together with wires called as buses. A bus is a collection of wires. So here what is bus? Bus, it is the collection of wire. We are having three types: address bus, control bus and the system bus. The buses are the paths for communication within the PLC. The information is transmitted in a binary form, i.e. as a group of bits, with a bit being a binary digit of 1 or 0, i.e. on and off the states. The term word is used for the group of bits constituting some information. Thus, an 8-bit word might be the binary number, which is example as 001, 0011, 0. You know this binary number format, it is called the digital signal. Each of the bit is communicated simultaneously along its own parallel wire. Here you can see it is having a communicating channel. We already see the types here: address bus, then control bus, then data bus and input output module system bus. These are the communicating channels. We already know that while operating the PLC, the wiring is very critical one, and there is a lot of wiring we need to be connect, which is to be performed by the skilled operator or skilled worker. The buses are the paths used in communicating with the PLC. The information is transmitted in binary form, i.e. as a group of bits, with the bit being a binary digits 1 or 0, i.e. on and off states. The term word is used for the group of bits constituting some information. Thus, an 8-bit word might be the binary number, which is 001, 001, 10. Each of the bits is communicating simultaneously along its own parallel wire. Okay, so here are the types of PLC. Single box type, modular type. Okay, so this is the types of PLC. First type is single box type PLC. The single box type, i.e. sometimes termed as a brick, is commonly used for small programmable controllers and is supplied as an integral compact package complete with power supply, processor, memory and input-output units. Typically, such a PLC might have 6, 8, 12 or 24 input and 4, 8 or 16 outputs, and a memory which can store some as 300 to 1000 instructions. Modular. The modular or the rack type consists of separate modules for power supply, processor, input module and output module and the memory. This is the types of PLC. This is single brick type and this is the rack type PLC. Brick type is used for the small applications, where the rack type is used for the compact or tricky type of applications. Then these are the PLC operations. The PLC operations I will teach you in the next section. See you soon.